understanding that playoffs are no place for moral victories, but down 20, what did you think of the fight that your team put up tonight?
I was so disappointed in our no-show in the first half that it's hard for me to mitigate it, you know, with fighting for 24 minutes out of 48 minutes in a game with this kind of meeting. So, you know, I'm glad we showed that we were willing and able to fight in the second half. But you know, the way we performed just competitively in the first half was inexcusable.
Coach, can you talk about the impact of Blair and what he was able to bring, and then not having him down the stretch after his ejection?
Yeah, Blair gave us a lot of energy, a lot of force. He gave us a physical presence, and then, you know, I only saw one view of it, and it's a distorted view on the coach's feed, so I didn't see exactly what happened. But you know, Scott Foster is one of the best officials. If he said that there was a technical foul there and an ejection, then there probably was. I mean, they looked at it on the film too. So, you know, we got to avoid plays like that after the whistle. I mean, and DeJuan's a smart player. I mean, that's just it's an emotional reaction to something, and those are the kinds of things you just got to avoid.
You know, we've asked this, it seems like, after almost every game, but again, Dirk tonight, not a very good offensive performance for him. Why can't he get going?
Hey, let's quit talking about missed shots. Let's talk about guys getting up and getting into people the way we did the second half. Because you know, we were missing shots in the first half because we weren't defending. You know, and look, this is a long series. The shot making is going to even out. You know, trust me when I say that. In my 30th year in this league, I can tell you that for a fact. But what doesn't work is showing up and laying an egg the way we did in the first half. And hey, the majority of it's on me because I didn't have these guys ready to go.
Rick, you guys seem to have Tony Parker a bit frustrated over here to you.
I can hear you, I don't need to see it. Kaplan, I know your voice.
Well, you're kind of looking around.
When I read your stuff, I hear your voice.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I understand. You guys seem to have Tony Parker a bit frustrated. But on the other hand, Manu Ginobili's played very well. What
Hey, look, he didn't look frustrated to me. I mean, those guys tonight looked like they were doing whatever they wanted to do. And, you know, you know, you just can't do business that way this time of year. You know, so, hey, we've done a few good things in this series. We've done a lot of good things. But defensively, last two games, you know, we've been poor. We've been poor. And even though the number of points is relatively low in this game tonight, you know, our first half performance, just from a competitive standpoint, was, you know, just not up to snuff.
Coach, talk about the elements that were the game changers for you by the end of the third quarter throughout the rest of the game.
Hey, just letting go and competing at a high level. That was what it was. Got our fans into it. But you know, you put yourself in a 20-point hole, if that's what it was. Was it 20? You put yourself in a 20-point hole this time of year. I mean, you're going to have to pitch a shutout. You're going to have to be perfect down the stretch, and you can't have any, you know, missed free throws, and you can't have any, you know, any foul ups at all. And it's just very difficult to win in those situations. And you know, and so we got to be better from start to finish, just in terms of how we compete. So. You know, that's really where this game is at. You got to give them credit because they came out and did what we didn't do, particularly in the first half.
I got a question about one more missed shot. Did you get what you wanted out of the timeout for the last shot that you had with 10 seconds left?
Oh, Ellis hit the rim? I mean, that's a pretty, you know, you get a guy going to the rim with a chance to get it up on the board. I mean, I haven't looked at it again. But I mean, if you're asking me here, I'd say, you know, I was pretty happy with it. I mean, it's penetration, it's being right there. It's just, you know, just didn't quite finish. And so there it is. I mean, you leave everything to chance on one play because, you know, we didn't show up and compete the way we needed to in the first half. And even if you do, there's no guarantees. But there's a guarantee that if you don't, I mean, you know, you're getting your sand kicked in your face, and you know, you're gonna have big deficits.
Coach, now knowing that you're going to have to steal a game in San Antonio to win the series, how much can you draw off those first 2 games and how well you played?
Series is even. It's three-game series, and you know it's not this series and most series. It's not so much the where, but the how. And you got to compete better than what we did tonight. And look, I mean, our Game 3 defensive performance wasn't great either. I mean, they scored a lot of points, and they had their way in a lot of ways. So there's a lot of things we got to get cleaned up. Some of it is scheme stuff, and some of it is stuff where we had foul-ups. But the foul-ups are mitigated, you know, when you're just hard playing your way through things, and we just didn't do that enough from start to finish tonight.
Coach, there were a few plays at the end of the game where they were able to run a pick and roll and then get a shooter to rotate back up and usually be uncontested. Is that a matter of just not hustling on rotations enough, or is that a tactical missing the rotation?
Not sure which play you're talking about.
There's a Dia a couple times was able to get it wide open at the top of the key.
I mean, I haven't studied that play yet. I haven't seen it on film, so I can't give you a real good answer here. But you know, NBA games, there are scramble situations, and sometimes you get a guy like Dia, who's a very capable player, who may not be known as a great shooter, but he's been in a lot of big games, and he steps into a shot and makes it. You know, we've been getting hit hard the last 2 games at the end of the shot clock. Not talking about tonight, but Game 2 and Game 3. You know, 25, 26 points in each of Games 2 and Games 3 in the last 6 minutes of the shot clock. So you got to keep scrambling when you play them because they keep moving it, they keep making plays. So, hey, there's a lot of scrambles, and if you don't win your share, you know, this is what happens.
We'll take a couple more.
Coach, in the first half, whenever you guys did jump out to the 10-point lead, what did happen with your offense that allowed
we were getting stops. We were into them defensively, and we were getting out on the floor, and the ball was moving.
Anything else?
Is that it?